Okay, so today we're going to learn what a function is. And as you can see at the top, a function is an equation for which any x that can be plugged in yields exactly one y. And we've been doing this in class because we've been plugging in x values and getting y values. So you can see we have some ordered pairs here, which are essentially just these x and y values. You could even put them in a table or use them however you want. But you can see that this would be a function because for every x value that we get, we only get one y value. So for every x value, we only get one y value. So this is a function. Let's look at another one. For this second one, you might think that we have a function. For this second one, you might think that we have a function, but that's not quite correct. And the reason why is you can see here that for every x value, we have one y value, but there's a problem. One of our x values is repeated. So that means for -2, instead of having one y value, we have two y values. We have -1 and 3. And that is not allowed for a function because a function is this kind of rule, and we can't have a single x go to two different values. So this would not be a function. Let's try another one. See if you can decide whether this will be a function or not. So is this a function or not? And the answer to that is it is a function because for every x value we only have one y value. And it doesn't matter that they're all going to the same y value. They each, for every x value, we only have one y value. See if you can decide if this one is a function. This one is not a function because for 0 we have two different y values, and again that's not allowed. So if you drew 0, we'd have -3 and we'd have 7, and that is not allowed. Try some more problems. Sometimes we can get these inputs and outputs to look like this in charts. So if we have something that's like this, this is our x and this is our y's, and they kind of show the mapping. So we can see that 1 is going to -1, 3 is going to 4, 5 is going to 4, and 7 is going to 6. This thing is a function again because every single x has only one y value it goes to. In this second one, again, you can see that 3 has one y value, 1 has one y value, but 0 has two y values. So this is not a function. So again, when you're looking at functions, you want to make sure that every x goes to a single y. Let's look at another example. In this one, they just place these things in tables. And so for the tables that they have, again, we can just see if every single x goes to a single y. So that one goes to a single y. So we can see x, these all x's, none of them repeat. So this is a function. In this one, again, every single x goes to a single y. So we can see this is a function. And in this one, unfortunately, -2 goes to two different things, and 2 goes to two different things. So this is not a function, because as I look through, I have I have multiple x, or a single x going to multiple different y's, which we can't happen. Let's look at the last type. You can also see this happen in graphs. And in graphs, we use something called a vertical line test. And the reason we look for a vertical line test is because an x is like right here. Whoops. So since an x is like right here or right here, you look at if any of your x's hit multiple y's or have multiple dots, then it is not a function. This thing would be a function because as I go up every single x, I only ever hit one dot. So this is a function. This one is also a function because if I go through every single dot, I only hit one point on my line. This would not be a function because as I go through every single x, here and here I hit 2, I also hit here 2 here. A lot of spots I hit more than 1 and we can only hit 1. So that's not a function. This would also not be a function because as I go through I hit multiple points. This would be a function, and this would be a function because again as you go through you're only going to ever hit 1 point. And this would be a function because as you go through you're only going to ever hit 1 point. So as you go through, you want to make sure that if you go through a single x, you will only ever hit a single point to decide if it's a function. So again, as you think through what a function is, a function means we have a single x going to a single y. We can have multiple x's go to the same y, that's fine, but what we can't have and what fails this thing is if you have a single x go to two different y values. We cannot have this situation for our functions.